This is the KDA Video Minute for Friday, July 31st. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed the cooler than average summer here in Kansas, but this has been a really busy week for the KDA as far as both local and national activities that are occurring. First of all, last Friday, the Kansas Dental Board finally had the hearing on new rules and regulations that would further define the definition of dentistry. What they've done is they've added to the rules and regulations that the altering of the color of the teeth or positioning equipment or appliances for that same purpose is in fact the practice of dentistry. Last week for the hearing, Dr. Bert Ottmeyer testified, as did I. Dr. Gilbert Ormito came up from Wichita and chimed in on some comments. We also had Dr. Ediger, Dr. Herwig, Dr. Stringer, Dr. Betzworth also attended, so we appreciate their support as far as being at the meeting. About 4 people did oppose those rules and regulations, but when it was all said and done, the dental board did vote on a unanimous 8-0 vote. There was one dentist that was not present for that vote, or I'm hoping it would have been 9-0. But anyway, it was 8-0, and those rules and regs will be enacted probably August 21st. It depends on when it can be published in the statewide newspaper, the official publication, the Kansas Register, and then it's 14 days after that for its actual enactment and when that becomes the law of the land. Now, the Kansas Dental Board had also planned to have another hearing on sedation. That was originally scheduled for the hearing last week. That had been postponed to September. Now it's been postponed again indefinitely. The sedation rules and regulations have become somewhat troublesome. There's a lot of different nuances there. Any little change affects a lot of different people. And the dental board, to their credit, want to get that right before they move that forward and put that into the practice of dentistry. So it's been postponed again, and we'll let everyone know when the new sedation rules and regs hearing will be scheduled so that we can make sure that we have proper input into that particular process. Now, nationally, big news has to do with the red flag rules. You know that they're initially supposed to be enacted here in the spring. It was postponed until August 1st, which of course would be tomorrow or Monday when you come to the office. They have been postponed again, the enactment of those red flag rules on small businesses, until November 1st. Now, what the hope is there is a bill in Congress that would exempt healthcare offices with fewer than 20 employees. So the thought is that we've got a little time here to try to get that bill passed. There seems to be some momentum building and some understanding within Congress that that's an important thing to do. And so by November 1st, hopefully dental offices would be exempt completely, or those smaller dental offices, fewer than 20 staff, which is virtually all the offices in this state, would be exempt from having to follow those guidelines and those red flag rules. So again, don't need to do anything with that quite yet. Keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll make sure to update you, and as will the ADA, so you know what's going on with that particular issue. Also on the federal level this week was the anticipated reclassification of amalgam by the Food and Drug Administration from a Class 1 to a Class 2 medical device. Now there's 3 classes for medical devices, so Class 2 is in the middle now. With that reclassification, the FDA reiterated the fact that they do not believe that amalgam is at all harmful to the public. There were no further restrictions placed on amalgam with that reclassification, but they did feel that since it does contain mercury, that it needed to be reclassified. Sort of as an interesting side note, the alloy within an amalgam was already classified as a Class 2 device, but the mercury was classified as a Type 1. So even the ADA supported that reclassification, though with no changes with what you can use that for, so that's worked out quite well for us, and nothing that was unanticipated with that particular announcement. Now, in the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of buzz about a new law that was passed in Rhode Island that does apply to insurance contracts and some restrictions in those contracts, particularly with those which involve caps on non-covered procedures. So there's been a lot of discussion about if that's something that Kansas might be able to pursue. I can tell you that the Executive Committee is quite aware that that law was passed in Rhode Island, as are, frankly, the other states around the country quite interested in what happened in Rhode Island. So there is some discussion about that within Kansas. Our Board of Delegates do not meet until November 6th, and on the November 6th agenda will be the KDA's 2010 legislative agenda for approval. So there's a good possibility that pursuing some type of legislation like that may be included. Again, we'll keep you informed. And talking about that November 6th Board of Delegates meeting, the following day is November 7th, is Saturday, and in Manhattan where we'll be for the 4th annual KDA Sunflower Showdown tailgate and ball game. It's going to be KU K-State at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. So we have purchased tickets here at the KDA in preparation for that. We're working on the brochure, which I know will be going out here sometime later in August, hopefully by mid-August, late August, by the time the football season kicks off. So I want people to keep that in mind if you're looking at purchasing those tickets. We'll have the tailgate in the Cat Town area like we did 2 years ago, and then we'll all go to the football game in a block of 100 tickets and have an enjoyable time with that. So go Hawks, go Cats. Hopefully we'll have a great season by November 7th. I'm sure both teams will be undefeated and ready to challenge for the North title at that time. So again, hey, thanks. Have a nice summer, and we'll be back with you here in the next week or so as events and activities of dentistry in the KDA warrant. Thank you.